What's up, guys? Feast your eyes on this classic. You won't see another one like this anytime soon. This is a Yamaha Seca 900. It's a one-year model. Yamaha only imported about 1,000 of these, and I've got a long history with this motorcycle. My brother had one of these when I was a kid, new, and one of our friends was just stopped by and was telling us stories about the stuff my brother used to do on it, and that's why none of these are left, because most of them were owned by young guys that rode the wheels off of them. This bike here is a first-place trophy-winning bike in the Daytona 2017 Vintage Japanese Motorcycle Club Rally, first place in the entire event. It's been ridden about 3,000 miles since it was restored by our good friend Armin Bassett. He's the guy who runs the Gluttons for Punishment webpage and is a regular at the Jap Bike Mics and the Rice-A-Rama event in Massachusetts every year. Him and his dad have built some super beautiful custom bikes. They like doing custom bikes. This is one of the first they did that was bone stock, 100% original back to stock restoration. This is a complete frame off restoration, folks. This isn't just a little lipstick on a pig. This thing was completely dismantled right down to the frame. It was a mint original Survivor. All the plastics were mint. It hadn't been dropped, and Armin's like, I want to take this thing to the next level. So he spent 2 years. Took him 2 years to dismantle this right down to the frame, every nut and bolt on the bike when he did it. He did it about 4 years ago, and he's ridden it 3,000 miles. So the shine on the aluminum, he had the aluminum on it polished like a mirror. And I just talked to him. He said that the forks, the aluminum on the engine will easily polish back up to that brilliant chrome shine. But he's got kids now, and little kids, and he's not available. He's got a few projects he's working on. He decided to want to sell the bike, so he sold it to his friend who asked us to resell it for him, so that we know the history of the bike. We know Armin restored it. Matter of fact, if you want to talk to him, we'll give you Armin's phone number. If you're a qualified buyer, you can talk to him directly. He has the trophy. This has been featured twice in the VJMC magazine. It's won multiple trophies at different events all over the country. The biggest one, Daytona, that's the big show. To win first place at the Vintage Japanese Show in Daytona says something about the quality of the bike. Starting with the paint job, this is a 10-coat candy apple House of Colors paint, matching the original paint code perfectly. I don't understand the exact process, but on a high level, there's two colors of paint: a silver base coat, 3 coats, and then a burgundy top coat, 3 coats, and then 4 coats of clear. And these are painted on graphics, folks. A paint job like this is going to cost you about $2,500 if you need to find someone that will do it. These are the original NOS graphics. He put new graphics on the side, but those are painted on decals on the tank. Brand new set of Michelin tires, front and rear. He completely dismantled the brake system, rebuilt the brakes, rebuilt the forks. All the fluids were recommissioned on the bike. Brand new Yamaha factory silver paint on the swing arm when he did it. The original shocks are in mint shape. It's just an absolutely stunning bike. He also told me the carbs are a real bear to rebuild. Not something you want to try at home. He's a world-class mechanic, so Armin completely dismantled the carburetors down to the last piece and completely rebuilt them with all NOS diaphragms. All the jets, everything was new inside the carburetors, including the petcock. He told me he paid $160 for the petcock alone. Now, it took him 2 years, nights and weekends. He figured on the low end about 200 hours restoration. I'll tell you, if you bought this bike to us and said, hey, take it down to the frame, give me a candy apple House of Colors, $800 a gallon paint job on the bike, and paint the graphics on and completely go through it top to bottom, rebuild the brake system and the carbs. For one, it'd be a time and materials job because we don't know how long it's going to take. You never know when you get into one of these. It's a 200-hour job minimum for, if everything went perfectly well, 150 hours. But just the carbs themselves can often be challenging. He got the thing massaged to perfection. If you bought it here and you wanted we charge $90 an hour. So even if it was 100 hours, you got $9,000 worth of labor. Okay, so whatever this bike sells at, you're basically getting the labor for free. This bike is an extremely rare model. They only made 1,000 of them in the U.S. I'm going to stop flapping my gums because the best part about this bike is riding it, so I'm going to take it for a rip, and I'll be back soon. Junior, is there anything you want to add about this bike?
Hit the nail on the head. There's nothing else left to say.
I mean, you're 20 years old. This bike was built long before you were born, but it's a beautiful classic that the typical Yamaha style, it stood the test of time. Beautiful gold badges. Let me take it for a rip. I'll be back, okay? I'll see you soon. One of the things about the Seca is it's silky, silky smooth. Shaft drive, triple disc brakes, long travel suspension, piggyback nitrogen charged gas rear shocks. The engine is silky, silky smooth, and the exhaust system is tuned. Well, Yamaha was a music manufacturer. They made pianos, so this exhaust system is music to my ears. It sounds like a jet. It really does. It has a whisper like a jet. Just absolutely fantastic, and it's super smooth. Very little vibration. Inline 4. Fuck, lady's in the wrong side of the damn road. What the hell? So the quarter fairing's nice. Keeps the wind off your body, and the screen, it looks brand new. Like I said, he used a lot of NOS parts on this bike. The only part on the bike that he said that's not Yamaha is a left front turn signal. He couldn't find the original Yamaha lens, so it's an aftermarket lens on the turn signal. But this thing runs like butter. This was a labor of love, you know. So Armin and his dad, they don't cut any corners at all when they work on a bike like this. In fact, if you've been following us, the Harley Davidson 1977 XLCH Cafe Racer, that bike won the Rat Holes Chopper Show in Daytona Beach on the boardwalk in 2017 also. So they went down there and they bought back a lot of heavy metal. They won with their Cafe Racer. Armin also built the R5 Yamaha RD 350, actually R5 350. I call it RD because most people recognize that name more. That was the 5-speed pre-reed valve Yamaha two-cylinder two-stroke. He put that motor, somehow crafted an upside down front end on it and a monoshock rear end. I remember when I saw the bike at the show at Ricerama, I was like, oh my God, this thing's absolutely effing beautiful. I gotta have this thing. So when I talked to Armin, he's like, hey, I'll sell it to you, and he gave me a number. I said, I'll take it. The number he gave me, I was like, wow, I know what it takes to build a custom bike. This thing is so smooth and it's fast as hell. About my brother and the bike. My brother was a wild man. He ran with the Wild Bunch, and a lot of his friends got in a lot of trouble. Somehow he skated through without getting in trouble through the years. One time he was out in a Seca 900. One of his friends was just there, and he goes, yeah, I remember when your brother, when we were in our 20s, your brother had one of these. My brother ran the cops on this Seca 900, and obviously left him in the dust because this thing's an 11-second quarter-mile rocket ship, and he left him, absolutely left him in the dust. But they got his plate number, so they caught up with him later, and he got in a lot of trouble. I'm sure he paid his dues for that, but man, I gotta send my brother this video. Matter of fact, it's kind of a flashback. The speedometer first three numbers are 457. That's his race number. Every time I see 457, I think of my older brother Ray, so I'm gonna call him as soon as I get off the phone with him. Him and his daughter, Kayla, she raced motocross also under the number 457. So just a family of crazy bikers that I've grew up with, blessed with an awesome family. This thing is so fast and so smooth. I'm only revving it up to 5,000 RPM, and it, one of the fastest vintage bikes. I mean, it was ahead of its time, clearly. Just a fantastic machine. Similar to the GPZ 1100 of the era, or the Eddie Lawson replica, this has become a collectible, extremely rare, low production numbers. This bike's got, if you add it up, let's split the difference, say 150 hours labor to do the frame off at 90 bucks an hour. That's close to $15,000 in labor, plus paint, plus parts, plus tires. This is a $17,000 job, and good luck finding someone who'd even want to do it for you. You just can't find shops that do this kind of work anymore because there's no money in it. People don't want to pay what it costs. So we're unveiling the first floor of the museum tomorrow. Stay tuned. It's going to be awesome. The guys have been busting their ass in 90-degree heat trying to get this first floor shaped up for our unveiling of it. Over here, Mike's been working on the foundation. He's doing an absolutely fantastic job over here, rebuilding the foundation of the building. It looks beautiful. Hats off to Mike. He's been on that for, Jesus, he's been on that for about a month now, 3 weeks anyway, 3.5 weeks anyways. It's coming out beautiful. Really impressed. So, anyway, back to this bike. Stunning red, original factory color, but the paint is by House of Colors, candy coat, painted on graphics, 4 coats of clear. Good luck finding a nicer one. I don't think this is, there's a nicer Seca 900 in the country. Certainly if there is, this one's on the podium with it. So definitely Kaplan America approved. Armin's my boy. Him and his dad are awesome. I love those guys, and have a lot of fun hanging out with them. And the reason they call their club the Gluttons for Punishment Club, woo! It's arrived! It's arrived! The CR500 David Bailey replica. Oh my God, I'm so psyched. Ed, what's happening, brother?
How you doing?
Man, that is a beauty. How's it going, man? Wow.
Not bad.
Holy moly, my focus has changed. Wow. Man, I can't wait to get this thing finished and take it out for a rip. She's a beauty. So back to Armin's bike here. In addition to all of everything I told you, Armin searched far and wide for this manual. He paid $100 for it, the original service manual. He bought this on eBay. He wanted that. He also bought and framed the so when he did shows, he wanted the original brochure showing the bike bone stock, original condition, just like it is now. The original exhaust is a 10. I mean, the exhaust alone on that bike's got to be worth $1,500. Where are you going to find another one? He's also got the magazine, the Yamaha XJ900 Maximum Strength Seca. He's got the Cycle World magazine right up. What a surprise. And then the Cycle World. So he's got the 3 magazines the bike was in, the owner's manual. He's got a Vermont Rhode Island registration for it, and built by a guy, a labor of love, who spent 2 years of his life crafting this thing to perfection and making sure it was perfect. So if you have any questions about it, please call us 860-454-7024. Twin CR500s. Am I seeing double? One's an aluminum frame, the other one's a steely. So that's about it, folks. If you have any questions, call us. We can ship this bike anywhere in the world for about, well, $750 or less. Anywhere on the East Coast for probably $500 or less. I get it to the UK for $750. So stay tuned and buy this bike. You'll kick yourself in the butt. You'll never see another nice one. I can guarantee you that. Stay tuned, and God bless America.